Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us for our Monday weather update recorded on June the 10th. We've got a large area of low pressure forming this week in the Tasman Sea, but the modelling has changed just a little bit from where we left off on Friday. So let's get into it and explain what is happening across this week. Starting off with Monday's air pressure map and the wind flow, and you can see the northerly subtropical wind that we've had across the weekend moving out to sea, replaced by a westerly, so the North Island won't be changing temperatures a huge amount. There is a southerly flow here coming into Wellington and the South Island, but it's really Tuesday lunchtime that you'll start to notice that colder airflow moving further up. Gets to about the lower North Island, and then that's about it, because there's a northwesterly flow about to move on through and replace this colder pool of air that's sitting around the South Island on Tuesday. So temperatures do drop across Tuesday and Tuesday night. So when you wake up on Wednesday morning, it will be certainly a little bit colder around the place, but fog patches are going to be in the mix as well. So it's not just a cold, clear night. There could be a fair bit of cloud around, low cloud, and some foggy areas as well. Hopefully it burns off fairly quickly because there is a northwesterly starting to kick in across New Zealand. So by Thursday, this is where the low is likely to be centred off the west coast of New Zealand, basically central New Zealand really, which is a little bit further northwards than it was when we updated you on Friday last week. So the modelling has been pretty good at picking this low, but it's pushed it further north. That means the colder portion of the wind is down here between Tasmania and Sydney coming into Australia, not coming into New Zealand at this stage. And you can see it even clearer here on Friday, the low off the west coast of New Zealand, the high south of Tasmania. That's where a high should be if you're looking for a big Antarctic blast into New Zealand, but the low is in the wrong place. The low needs to be over here for that to happen. And while it's over this far to the west and to the north, it pushes all that cold airflow out towards Australia. And some of it does get caught up in the mix, but generally speaking, it's not the usual sort of winter blast that you might have in your mind. So this is the American modelling that you see here for Lunchtime Friday. Let's compare that with the European. Very little change. Both of them show low pressure off the western part of central New Zealand, and both of them show this northeasterly flow now coming in around it. If the low was further southwards, we'd be seeing a nor'wester, but because it's gone further up, now we're getting that northeasterly flow. Now on Saturday, could be pretty cold and wet, gloomy in the lower South Island, but it's worth noting the origins of the wind take you right up to around Tonga. So that's not your usual colder easterly that's coming in. This one is coming out of the subtropics, so it brings a bit more moisture with it, but this looks more like a rain event than anything else at this stage. It could still change. There's a lot of strong wind offshore here and that Antarctic wind flow, but the more that the high comes through, the more it shuts off that airflow from down towards Antarctica, and it makes it more about this northeasterly flow coming down and into the country. So it's a messy forecast this weekend. It does look as though the low starts to weaken on Sunday as this high comes in and kind of cuts off the southerly flow for it. But it's a messy system, and I do expect the forecast to chop and change a little bit this week. So we'll be back again tomorrow, Tuesday, with our next video update then. We'll see you then.